Hi! I want to talk about the creatures of Kirby's Return to Dreamland. The Kirby creatures in general are very beloved by me. I'm very passionate about them. I might make this into a series, going through all of the Kirby games, but I wanted to start with this one because it's one of my favorite games, and it has like some of my favorite creature designs. I just want to talk about them like for a while. That's really it. Starting with Armor D. So this is like a variant of Puppet D, which we will see later. This guy is 3 Waddle Ds in a trench coat, but the trench coat is like a mech. So on the left one, that's a regular one. It has like a little periscope, and that's very cute because like there are 3 Waddle Ds inside. When you break this, all 3 of them like go like all over the place. So I like to think that there's only 2 Waddle Ds on foot, like they're walking, and then there's a third one on top of them that's looking through the periscope. On the right is the Halcandran Armor D. This is like a stronger variant that you can see in Halcandra. Wait, actually, it might not be stronger. Never mind that. But yeah, they're kind of drastically different, and you'll see why later when we touch on Halcandran Variants. Barbar. This is one of my favorite ones. It's just a very big fish eel guy. They just like set you in to like gulp you down in the water. They're kind of like Pacto, but underwater and way big. The screenshot that you can see on the right, that's like a small Barbar. There can be way bigger ones. I really like them. Like they're just lovely. They're like a very simple design, but like just look at them. Just look at that smile. They look so pleasant. They also have these weird like barbels under their chin. I don't know what those are. No, like fishes don't have that, but they do look very nice and they animate quite nicely. Barracu. That's a very simple one. They're based on a Barracuda, which I guess I've never seen an enemy be based on that. Very lazy name, but you know it works. I do like how like V-shaped their mouth is. They grab you and you have to shake to get out of them. Bouncy Sis. So this is like a variant of Bouncy, which has been like a mainstay enemy for a while. And this is like a bigger version, like way fancier too. It has like a little frill, like as a skirt. And then instead of 1 bow, they have 3 bows, like 2 little ones and like 1 super big one. On the right, you can see the model in Rainbow Curse. And in that one, something interesting that mentioned is that they want to jump as high as the regular Bouncies, but they can't because they're heavier. But they don't want anyone to know that. Bowby. So this was a cute one and very interesting. Like in terms of modern Kirby enemies, a lot of the ones in Return to Dreamland came back in future installations, mostly in Triple Deluxe. This one did not, and that's especially surprising because look at this guy. It's literally a bow, and there's an archer ability that they got introduced in Return to Dreamland. So in this game, there is no archer, but there is like an enemy that you would think would give archer. So in the next game, you would think that they would take this enemy and then let you nail it to get Archer, right? But no, Bowby is completely absent in Return to Dream in Triple Deluxe. So it's a very interesting. Like it's so weird. Like come on, it was perfect. So yeah, they're kind of cool. I mean, like they're just a bow, but like what's cool is that they shoot their arrow through their mouth. So that's cool. And on the right, you can see the Halcandran version. It looks like an owl, I guess. I don't know what it looks like, but it's definitely very different. Bulby! This was also a very cute one. So Bulby is just like it's one of the rarest enemies in Return to Dreamland. They hide on the ground and then just pop in when you're nearby and just like shoot like a spore ball like above. Very easy, like super innocent. Like it's really hard to get hit by them. They're just really cute. They're just like a little bulb with root feet. And the flower, like their flower is pretty cute too. I just like the fact that they go underground. Like this is a proper tuber enemy. On the right you can see they kind of draw in the Twitter account, and in this one they made their feet super small, but they look very cute. Cerulean. This is one of my like favorite. I know like I'm saying that for most of them, but it's because I really like them. But Cerulean is even like top 3 for me. I really like Cerulean. Like they're just everything about them is so cool. So starting off with like their color. Like this teal color that you can see like it kind of blends in with the background. I showed that background because teal is my favorite color. So these guys, they just fly around. They're just like a big, like, I guess like they're seed shaped, and they have like a seed shaped, like almond shaped eye. But what's most important is their wings, or, well, whatever you want to call them. They fly with those. They kind of look like bunny ears, but to me, I think they are based on maple seeds, which you can see on the left, on the bottom left. Also called samaras. They're kind of seed that like let you like these seeds like fly, quote unquote. So like I think it might be based on that. Like, you know, like it kind of like the shape of it and the way they're arranged. It reminds me a lot of them. So yeah, they just fly with them somehow. They're just very peaceful. I mean, they kind of like home in on you slightly, like just barely. But they're just chilling. I like them a lot. Clayn, another very beloved one. Clayn's interesting because like this is like an evolution of a design that they've been trying to get for a while. You'll see that a lot of these creatures are like modernizations on previous creatures. So you can see on the bottom left, there's Oro, which is an enemy from Kirby's Dreamland 3, and then there's Sandman from Kirby 64. Both of them behave exactly the same as Clayn, like exactly, one to one. They behave exactly the same, but for Return to Dreamland, they wanted to like make a more complex design, like a more appealing design. So they end up with Clayn, which is perfect. Like it's just a little slug. So they when you come, like when you first see them, they're just a blob. You can see in the GIF. But when you get close enough, they just sprout up and start wiggling. And they don't do anything else. They just start wiggling. Yeah, they're just meant to like catch you off guard sometimes. I really like all the frames where you can see on the bottom of how they like go from blob to full slug, because yeah, their eyes look funny. I like them a lot. Craby. Craby, another beloved one. This is like a blue blob guy. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it's like a fusion between anemones and like barnacles. You know, based on like the red orbs on their heads. This is another example of a modernization of a previous enemy. This behaves exactly the same as Canny, which is both in Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64. And yeah, they just like walk around, and then when you get close to them, they snip their things at you. I really like them. Like look at the one on the bottom. He's just walking. They're just like very charming little blobs. Degout. So this is an interesting case. You'll see later. This is technically a Halcandran variant, but for some reason, it's the only Halcandran variant that is not called Halcandran something, you know? It just has its own name, even though it behaves exactly the same as Mumbies. So in theory, it should be like Halcandran Mumbies, but they get a new name for some reason. So yeah, they're good. Something interesting about them is that they look a lot like Nautiluses, as you can see in the middle. I feel like it's gotta be on purpose, because not only do they have like the head thing, but like the part of their shell is sort of like ripped, like it has like lines and stripes. So I think it's on purpose, which I like a lot. Okay, Doomers. So Doomers are, you can only see them in one level, another dimension level, and they're very underrated because you only see them there. But like the designs are really cool because like they play into the family of the Sphere Doomers. Like you're seeing like their extended family basically when you go to their home turf. And they'll have very fun names. All the names are the same, except they change some vocals. So first off is Rappa, which is the smaller one. They fly in formations. They're innocent otherwise. There's Ripa, which looks angrier, much more edgier. They shoot at you. And then there's Rupa, my personal favorite. It's just like a little egg. It's also like teal colored with a bunch of like weird magentas and cyans blended in. They look awesome. And when you get nearby one, they'll just open their mouths, very like a trash bin, and just shoot at you some plasma balls. And they have little feet. They're the only Doomers with little feet. And yeah, that's just great. There's Repa, which is the biggest one. They're like actually really big. Like I feel like they're bigger than like Sphere Doomers, like the regular Sphere Doomers. They shoot at you like a lot of plasma balls. They look angrier, and they have those 4 like honkers around their body. Like I don't know what they are, but they look like if you squeeze them, they would like make a sound. There's Ropa, which are the sphere tumors. In Japanese, they're called Ropa. So it plays up. It plays with all the names. So like Rappa, Ripa, Rupa, Repa, and Ropa. It's really cool. So yeah, these guys are mid bosses. You'll find them a lot in the game. They have different variants. So like there's a plasma one, a fire one, and a blizzard one. And in the EX mode, they have 1 eye only instead of 2, which is an interesting change. Elec. So this is a variant of a previous enemy that you can see in the bottom. That being Flamer. Flamer is like a little orb with an eye that just spins around with fire and like blazes at you. Elec doesn't do that, but like it makes like an electrifying field similar to Sparky. But it also moves around through the walls. I mean on the walls as Flamer. It's cool that they made like a variant for this one. Because like normally it's not a modernization, it's just a variant. Like they both coexist. Gemra, another top 3 favorite ones. This guy, I mean, it's just so cool. Like beam enemies in general are very, very rare. Like we've only had very few in terms of diversity. It's mostly always Waddle do. We've had Pisser and Wizard in Dreamland 1, but outside of that, nothing until Gemra. Gemra is like an orb, so I guess similar to the orbs that you have when you get the beam ability, like on the staff, on the wand. But funnily enough, the creature itself is not the orb and the hat, but just the hat. Because when you hit them, as you can see on the bottom right, their hat completely gets separated from the orb. And it's the hat that like emotes and reacts. I really like that. So it's like a hat that just like absorbed an orb and like took it on its own. I really like how they attack too, because like they just like do the entire loop. Since they're flying and they're an orb, they can just do a circle. And it reminds me of the Revolution Beam, which is an attack exclusive to this game. So yeah, I just like him a lot. There we go. Here are the Halcandran variants. So yeah, as I was saying, when you go to Halcandra, you see some variants of other enemies from Popstar. Starting with Halcandran D, it's just a cute little guy. I mean, he's still cute. He's like masked and like like more like shady, I guess. But this is very cute. And in Japanese and in the files, they're called Halcandle D. So that's a cute name. Then there's Halcandran Bird, based on the Bronto Bird. They are very strange. I don't know how to like read their design. I'm not sure if like the eyes on top, like they're like supposed to be the only eyes, and then they have like a white mustache, or if the real eyes are the white part and they look like angry eyes, and then just have like fake eyes on top. I don't know. It looks interesting. I like their wings. They're like a funny shape. And then Halcandran Bouncy, which is like so good, like for so many reasons. Like starting with the fact that they have the Void Termina mask on their face. Probably a coincidence. Probably means nothing. Even though there are connections with Void Termina and Halcandra, I mean, yeah, I don't want to, I doubt it's on purpose. But yeah, they have like a funny mask. They have wings for some reason. The regular Bouncy does not have wings. They don't use them, but they have them. And most importantly, their bouncy stuff, their springs, they're colored now. Red, yellow, and green, and they look very nice. Here's Flotzo. So this is one of the like quote-unquote obstacles you find that you can only break with super abilities. We'll talk about the rest of them later, but this is the only one that is like properly a creature. Like you can see it's alive, it's an octopus, it's organic. And it's actually very sad because like the guy is really cute. He's just like hiding inside a giant ship. Like he just found this like wreck and just lives inside it like a hermit crab. And you just come in and you have to like time it to attack him when he's exposed, and then he literally melts. Like he burns and melts, and it's so brutal and like visceral. I don't like it. I hate doing that mission. What I like to do is that there's a tomato box, like a maxing tomato box in this level, I like to like try to get them to him, so like I can say like I healed him back, because yeah, it's kind of brutal. Iron Barbar. So this is I guess technically it's a Halcandran version of Barbar, but more importantly, it does behave slightly different, as in it lives inside lava somehow. It's really cool design, like really sick. I mean, the fact that it's called Iron Barbar and it has like a head shield made of iron, that's already like super cool. It changes the design like a bit. They don't look as jolly and pleasant, but I mean, you live inside lava, so I guess that's to expect it. They have like scary yellow eyes. I like them. Juckle, another really strange creature. Like I don't even know what it's supposed to be. Like I have no idea. Like how did they come up with the design? They're a cutter enemy. So they like throw in like the cutter that is in like part of the design. Like you can see the white tips on the top and the bottom. That's a cutter. Like they shoot that, and then they shoot that, and then they reform another one, and they keep going. They're cool. I like their color patterns a lot. Yeah. Okay, so this guy, this is a guy that's been a mainstay in the Kirby series for a while, but it started here. It started in this game. Properly at least. So this is Kitty, also called Caridi and Wonky, in different like media and stuff. Personally, I always just call them Monkey D's, which is like it's like a different one from the ones listed, but like, you know, it's literally a monkey wildly, and monkey has key on it, so you're still calling them Key D's, you know. I think that might be part of their design, like why they chose a monkey to carry a key, because, you know, monkeys and keys. Okay, whatever. They're just cute. Like they're yellow and they have a tail and they have funny eyes, and like they have like a really cute spiral pattern on their cheeks. Triple Deluxe made another variant, which you can only see when you play as DDD in DDD Tour. They're just white and very cute. And also in that game they can ski, and that's epic. Lanzer. This is kind of like a very forgettable one. Like I always forget about this one because it kind of looks like it would be a Meta Knight, but it's not used as that. It's just like a regular goon. Yeah, he gives a spear. Leafan. Another like beloved one. It's just really cute. Like all over it. It's like a turnip guy, with cute eyes and like a big like crown made out of leaves. When you first arrive, they like float down peacefully onto the ground, and like they rotate while doing so. It's really cute. But once they land, they start like attacking, and they just like inflate their leaf crown and just pop out some like coconuts or something. I guess they're seeds. I really like them. Moonja. So, interestingly enough, even though this behaves almost exactly as Biospark from the previous games, they did not want to go with that design, so they made another ninja. This one has like a really cool like hat. I think I like them. It's interesting because I like Biospark more in terms of aesthetic because, you know, their eyes are in a void, but Moonja has like cuter proportions, I guess, and I guess the colors too. Yeah. Owgulf. So yeah, instead of using Burden, they went with another enemy. Although this one does behave slightly different, but mostly the same. They just fly above you, and sometimes shoot 3 feathers or 1 feather. Pacloud. Yeah, this is probably top 1, like my favorite of this game. It's a variant on a previous enemy, being Pacto, which it's just like a guy that, you know, sets up traps for you, similar to Barbar. Like you always just see them flying, just chilling, and then if you get close to them, they'll try to grab you. The best thing about this is that their sound effects are like immaculate. Like they sound like an apple being crunched. Like they go, ow. It just sounds so good, and they're just really cute. They're like I guess they're like kind of designed after clouds, but also look at their horns. They kind of look like ram horns. So I'm not sure if like they went to like with a sheep aesthetic, because, you know, sheep look like clouds kind of. Yeah, just like a perfect design overall. Like they took Pacto, which was already like lovely, really weird Pac-Man guy, and they made them into a cloud, but also a sheep. It's just awesome. Pierce. This is an enemy that like has been stuck on Return to Dreamland, and it's really sad because like I think they're really awesome. I mean, bee enemies are like common in video games, but this is a bee enemy that does not have a stinger on its own. Instead, it has a spear. Like they just completely went, instead of like using the bee as its famous thing, oh the stinger. No, they just gave a bee a spear, completely unrelated to the fact that they have a stinger. And they're awesome. They're just really cute, and they fly around. Pluid, yes, another beloved one. These guys just like look at them. Like just look at these gifts. They're just beautiful. There's like little droplets of water. But they have red eyes, and more importantly, they have like the best like water physics I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they're just like a blob, and they bounce around, they jump around playfully. Before they fall though, like when you always see them, you see them first on the ceiling, which you can see on the top right. They're just like blubbering, all sloppery. Just look at the guy. Look how he's blobbing, and their eyes completely like move randomly. And when you get close enough, they drop onto you, but then they just stay on the ground and just bounce around playfully. They're kind of like a modernization of Drop from Kirby 64, which you can see on the bottom left. It's basically the same, like they behave basically the same, but they have one eye. And of course, being the Nintendo 64, they don't animate quite as lovely, but they're still awesome. And then on the bottom right, you can see their beta designs from the Kirby GCN trailer. In this one, they're not as blue; they're like just transparent, and they don't have red eyes. They just have like regular Kirby eyes. So definitely, I'm glad we got the design. But the sad thing about it is that if we had gotten Kirby GCN, Pluid would have been playable, because they were gonna be like the partner, like the helper. So yeah, in another universe we would have like playable Pluid. Okay, so here's Puppet D, the one I mentioned in the first entry. It's just like, I mean, this idea in itself is just so cute. Just like some Wildlies came together and like made a little giant paper craft of themselves, which they can like drive around. Like, it's just so cute. So in Return to Dreamland, you can see like it's made out of like cardboard and like stuck together with tape, and they move around it. And then in Star Allies, it came back, but it has like a different design. It's more clearly made out of paper mache, which is also very cute. And they even added like little blushes with like crayon. Yeah, just a perfect little design. Searches. This guy's a rare one. It gives Crash, but it's used very commonly in the games that they're in. If you get close to them, they just like instantly trigger and will explode, like a very big explosion. So you just want to like run across them as fast as you can. They're cute. Sheld. This was a really cute one. It's only been in Return to Dreamland and Triple Deluxe. I'm hoping they come back because they're really cute. There's like a little blob guy, but they hide under like a metal like shield that kind of looks like a beetle, horn. So they ram through you, and they're actually quite like vicious. Like they really like homing on you. Like they won't let go of you because like they can jump over obstacles, which a lot of enemies can't. These guys are smart. They know how to jump over obstacles and get to you. And their shield is very resistant. Like you have to like take a lot of hits for the shield to actually like break. And once it breaks, they just become cowards and run away. And they're just really cute when they have no shield, because look at their eyes. But yeah, it's Sheld. Snowl. So this is another modernization of a previous enemy, being Frigis from Kirby 64. It behaves exactly the same, being like it flies over you and then sometimes poops some little ice particles. But yeah, it's just like a much more complex design. I really like it. I really like the colors that they use, like this purple mask and the blue eyebrow thingies. And also the animation of them like pooping the snow is also very funny. Alright, here we go to the super enemies. So there are variants of regular enemies that give the super abilities. So these look like a slightly more epic, I guess. Super Blade Knight gets like a giant star on their head and like a scimitar as a sword. Super Halcandran just gets like a giant star in the middle of their eyes. Super Wild gets another giant star on top of their eye. They get giant eyebrows. I mean, or eyelashes, sorry. Yeah, eyelashes. Or hair, whatever. I mean, I think they're definitely eyelashes. But you can see them also as hair. And then, what I like the most is that, they have, this explosion pattern around their eye. I think that looks sick. And they're Super Chili, which, gets another giant star on their hat. But more importantly, they get 3 bells on their necklace instead of just 1. Here's Swordory, a very cute guy, only been in Return to Dreamland, and Diddy's Drum Dash. So it's a very interesting case. They have not returned in a mainline game, but in a spin-off. There's a sword that flies with those little bat wings it has on their eyes. They fly with that. Pretty cute. I mean, very simple, but pretty cute. Togekuki or Totanga. This one, yeah, I mean, I know it's a top 3, but yeah, this is also a very, very, very beloved one. So Togekuki is their file name, but Totanga is what they call them in Japanese. I'm not sure where the name comes from, but yeah, they have both names. They did get in, they have been shown in Forgotten Land, and in that game we'll probably get an official name. So I guess this will be outdated then, but you know. So yeah, they're just a really big cactus guy. They're like a pillar with pink spikes, and on the top sits their head, which is just 1 giant orange orb with 1 eye and 3 giant pink spikes. They're just I think they're just very pleasant to look at. Both their proportions and their colors are just very nice. They're interesting mechanical enemy in which you can't kill them how you kill regular enemies. Instead, you when you hit them, they go lower to the ground, they bury themselves. So every time you hit them, they just become lower and lower until they become very small. And then if you hit them one last time, I'm pretty sure their head pops out, and that's very brutal. So don't do that. They're very easily avoidable because they don't move. Walf, it's just a turtle thing, but with antennae. They kind of made a fusion between a beetle and a turtle. They definitely tried to make it more of a turtle, but then in Planet Robobot, which you can see on the right, they look, I guess, more bug-like. I mean, they lost their nostrils, and bugs don't have nostrils, so very interesting. It's still not quite like a diving beetle, because I mean diving beetles don't even have antennae anyways. So yeah, it's just a weird turtle bug. I like them a lot. What a Galbo. This is a variant of the regular Galbo, which spews fire. This one just spews water. They're basically identical except for the colors. I like them. Whippy. This is a newcomer. I mean, of course, I'm only showing newcomers. But it's cool because this is for the whip enemy, for the whip ability. And it's very creative. I know that they then came with Wester, which is this cowboy guy, and that's the helper in some allies for whip. But I feel like that's way too obvious for a whip enemy. Just make a cowboy with a whip. But this guy is just a weird tiger thing. I mean, it's like an abstracted version of a tiger, which I really like when Kirby does this. When Kirby takes a real life animal, but then they make it very abstract and alien. This is not how a tiger looks like in body plan at all. I just an orb, and the tail sprouts from the top of their head, and that tail they use as a whip. They home in on you and kind of throw it at you. I like this enemy a lot. Dubior, another beloved one. They're just a funny guy. They're just an UFO. UFOs in general are awesome. Whenever they make a UFO enemy, they're lovely. But this one is especially awesome because they have a void in eyes. I mean, eyes in void. And I mean, I don't know. I guess they just look funny. Their antennae, like the yellow, like they have like 3 yellow lines, but those change colors and shapes depending on like their attacks. So like when they call in the little guys, the Dubior Juniors, which I will talk about next, or when they do like a ramming attack, all of that changes the colors and the patterns of those 3 stripes, which is really cool. Yeah, in their EX version, which you can see on the right, they become purple and with 1 eye only. So this is Dubior Jr. I guess the son, like the children of the Dubiors. It's really cute how they just call them Junior. Like I love when they do that, when they just like take a smaller version of another enemy and just call them Junior. This one actually looks a lot more like a Nautilus, kind of like Degout. They have like a head shield, and they have like 2 antennae popping out of their shell, which I guess is how they communicate with their other Dubiors. Yeah, really cute guys. Gigant Edge. So this is like a big sword guy. Has a shield. It's been like, yeah, it became a mainstay after this game basically. I really like their colors on their EX form. Like they look like a bronze, like I mean between bronze and like wood. It's a very pleasant color pattern, even though it's like not as colorful as the regular one. Kibble Blade. I don't like this guy a lot, like because like they're basically just Sir Cable but bigger, and they have like their only difference is like their like face. They're just covered with like a you know, those knight shield helmet things. And that's about it. And I guess their shoes are pointy. I do like their EX colors a lot, like this pitch black. It looks like obsidian. King Do. So this is like the mid-boss version of a Waddle Doo. They didn't have to do this, but they did, and I love it because like look at their hair. Like I mean, I guess this is harder to say that they're eyelashes, but they can be still a lot of eyelashes that they comb into one like ponytail. They're awesome, and like when they walk, that ponytail like, you know, sways around in the wind and stuff. Very funny guy. Mondo. So this guy, yeah, this poor guy got made like, poor guy, because this is a new design meant to be a mid-boss for Rack, and I really like the design. Like it's like a mountain. Like you can see like the top of their head looks like snow-capped mountains. They have like this weird like headband, and like their bottom, like their mouth, their jagged mouth has like some moss growing on it. I think it is. I quite like the design. But in the next games, they got completely replaced by their predecessor, which is Blocky. Blocky was like the original stone mid-boss, but I guess they went back to. I mean, they made Mondo for this one instead. But then they regretted doing Mondo, and like went back for Blocky. So yeah, Mondo has not been allowed a chance to like really shine, because it got, yeah, after this game they got replaced by Blocky again. Yeah. Super Bunkers. Yeah, it's like a cooler version of it. It has like, I quite like the patterns of flames in their like sleeves and their pants. Yeah, there's like a funkier version of regular bunkers, I guess. Their EX version makes them look like fire types, which I like. Water Galboros, it's just like the Galboros version of Water Galbo. Just bigger and like, you know, more scary looking. I like their nose. Like if you look at the tip of their nose, they have like a bunch of freckles. I kind of like think of them as like ampullae of Lorenzini, which are like the organs that sharks have to detect electromagnetic pulses. Yeah, I know, very niche, but you know, it reminds me of that. And then the EX version is really cool. Like I really like the colors they went with. Like the red and the like purplish blue, they like contrast quite nicely. Oh, Mr. Duter. Yes, this guy is very funny. So the other version of Mr. Duter, I just like a blue blob thing guy. And when they remove their hat, you can see they have a little hair, and they look very polite. They look like they're about to like go to like a very important like school presentation. I like them. But then the EX version has a mustache, angrier, and is completely bald. So like I feel like they're definitely different people. So I like to think like the EX version is the dad of the regular version. I mean, just look at them, you know. They also throw in a unique enemy, being the Dubior Snake, which you can see on the right. The regular one shoots some red ones, and the EX one shoots some orange ones. Fatty Puffer. So this is, I mean, in terms of names, I guess they're like a sequel to Fatty Whale, but they don't look quite alike, and they also don't behave quite alike. They're just like a big, very, very fat puffer. I like that they have like a hat made out of coral, and then in the EX version, that turns into a crown. Yeah, just a cool design, I guess. It's very funny still, but just a fun guy. They also throw in Puffer Juniors, I think they're called. I actually forgot their names. I think they're called that. But yeah, they're just little puffer guys, and they're unique to this boss. And they're funny because you can tell they're clearly fish, but despite being fish, they can't swim. And if you mod them in other places and put them in the water, they just die in the water. And that's because this mid boss is like completely like ground based. So yeah, that's just a fun like event. Goliath. So this guy, you know, it's like a giant gorilla thing, but you know, still Kirby-fied, so it's just an orb with limbs. Weirdly enough, very unexpected. They're like a reference to like Cyan, like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Like when when you go to the mid point of the battle, they become like super powered and like they have yellow hair and throw in like energy orbs at you. They've been referenced in future games in both Battle Royale and Kirby Fighters 2. There's a hat with like their appearance. Grand Doomer. So this guy is like the dad of all Doomers, the big boss. This is a boss actually. They're really cool. I like the design a lot because like it's like the regular Doomer, like to 100, I guess. Like they have a bunch of feathers now, like their tail feathers, and they have like more spikies on their head, and their wings are more detailed, and they have like fangs now. I like them. On their EX version, they become like a weird red, which makes the weird like swirly patterns like stick out more. And then, as you can see on the top right, that's their form that they take when they're like about to die. Like they become like a cyst of rock. And they can only be broken with a super ability. Your Metal General. This guy is interesting because like you just come to when you arrive to Halcandra, you first go through egg engines, even though there's actually no story or reason whatsoever for you to like go to egg engines. But you go there and then you beat this guy for no reason at all. Like beating them does not give you anything. Like Kirby just dances after destroying him, and nothing else. So yeah, this guy's just chilling there and we just like beat them up. They're a cool robot. They have a unique gimmick where every time you hit them, you can see how much damage you've dealt to them. Though in reality, it's like they show like a 3-digit number, but in reality, the HP is only 2 digits. It just adds a random 3rd digit to make it look like you're doing more damage, I guess. So yeah. This is HRD3, which is like, it has an interesting history. This guy started as one of the bosses for Kirby GCN, the cancelled GameCube game. And what I'm guessing is that they had that developed like really well. Like they probably had that finished. Like that was like one of the first things they finished. And they were very proud of it. And they didn't want that to go to waste. So when it came to Return to Dreamland, they repurposed him as a secret boss fight. Only available in the EX mode. So like they changed like the paint job so it doesn't look as much as DDD, but you know it kind of still looks like DDD. But yeah, they changed it to like be not DDD related, but related to Metal General. So yeah, just a very interesting like thing that happened. They also appeared in Mass Attack in one of the mini games, and they have the design from the GCN. So yeah, I guess they really wanted to use the design. They were really proud of it. So yeah. Landia. So this guy, you know, is like a main character, I guess. But they're still a creature, so I'm still talking about them. I think they're really cool. Because, like, you know, they're a dragon guy, but they still look like Kirby-fied. So they look kind of cute. They have 4 heads. And the reason for that is I think it's very, like, lore dependent. Because the Master Crown is like a very cursed item that, like, takes over people. As it did with Magolor. So I think, like, they had to choose someone to, like, take it. And, like, someone that was able to, like, you know, overcome the power of the crown. And so for that, I think, you know, you need more brain power. So you need, like, multiple heads. So they chose these 4 dragons, and they would, like, share, like, the power of the crown. You know, like, they would, like, take it all in together. So, like, they like water down the power of the crown in each of the heads. That's my headcanon, of course. In the original game, you can see that they had teeth, but they were only textures, so they looked more like beaks. But then in Super Kirby Clash, you know, they don't have that limitation anymore. So they show like actual teeth, and they look much more like, you know, like dangerous, I guess, because they don't look like beaks anymore. But yeah, they also got a hat in Super Kirby Clash. Oh, also, yeah, on the bottom, that's a drawing by Paintra, one of the bosses from Triple Deluxe. So I guess Paintra knows Landia somehow. Here's a Lor Starcutter. I guess, like, you know, kind of hard to call them a creature, but they are clearly shown to be alive, or at least have like cognition in some ways, like they're intelligent. I really like this design. It's like a very like dreamy, like very like high fantasy design for like a bow that travels through space. You know, it's so mystical. I like it a lot. They're like a very pleasant blue, and they have like oars and like stars patterns all over them, and they have like 2 giant white wings, and they're like a they're like a spacefaring boat. And like their hull, is it their hull? No, maybe not. But like their dome has like a space pattern on them. I just think this design is like really cool. When you fight them, apparently being possessed by Magolor or something, they become evil and purple, and then in the EX mode they become red and black, much more edgier. Magolor. So yeah, main character, main boss, but still a creature, and it'd be weird if I didn't talk about him. Their base design, perfect. I adore Magolor so much. Like they're like this little shady dude covered in clothes. They just look very jolly, and their voice is very cute. Weird chocolate egg covered in clothes. I like them a lot. But then when the Master Crown overtakes them, they turn into something different. On the left you can see their first face, which you can see like still very Magolor heavy, like the little cat ears turned into horns, and he still has the like the scarf covering his face. He's like a more magician, like scary magician form. Then the second face, which is technically, the second face, which you can see on the top right, the horns like become part of their main body, and they're just like a giant orb. This design is just so sick for so many reasons, because like it's clearly like a dark matter reference, because their smile is actually an eye, like one giant eye, and the eyes on top are fake eyes, which is the same thing that both 0 and 02 do. So yeah, the crown also like sprouts wings, like straight up like butterfly wings, like made out of fire, which is a really cool design. And then Magolor Soul, which is exclusive to the extra version, which you can see on the bottom right. It's basically the same, but like way edgier. The rings around their horns get like spikes, and the Master Crown itself becomes like jagged and like, you know, spiky. Just a scary design. All right, we're like going through like the other stuff, I guess. These are the pop flowers, which are not creatures, but are like like, you know, they're implied to be alive because they're plants, and they're very unique on their own. Like, they have their own designs. So in every world of Return to Dreamland, there's these flowers that if you go through them, you make them bloom, and they give you like star points or like food items. And for every world, they have different designs, which is like really sick. Like, they actually made like unique flora to different like areas of Popstar. Like that's such cool world building. Come on. So yeah, for Cookie Country, they're like this big like I guess tulip shaped, but then when they open it, they turn into stars. Racing Ruins are like cacti. Onion Ocean, they're based on corals, which is like super cool. Like they made like a coral inspired flower, and like their leaves are like seaweed, like beautiful. White Wafers has like these crystalline guys that literally is entirely made of crystals. When they're closed, they look like a diamond, and when they bloomed, they look like this hexagonal pattern. Nothing was like one of my favorite ones. Like, they just look so pleasant. They're like these big bulbous plants, and when you bloom them, they turn into like swirly petals. They kind of look like pink clouds. There's like a very pleasant flower. Like, I wish the flower was real. It looks very pleasant for a garden. Egg Engines is like a completely like mechanized area. So the flowers are just completely like, you know, metal like constructs. So they have like their stalks are springs, and their like flowers are gears, which when you bloom them, they just turn neon bright. And then in Dangerous Diner, they just have these weird like alien looking like flowers, I guess. They're really cool because, like, you know, this is a place completely like covered in lava and stuff, very hostile. So they look more like edgy, and yeah, they just look weirder. I like how like their petals have like petals on their own, if that makes any sense. They kind of remind me of Paramatter, one of the enemies in Kirby Canvas Course. Yeah, just really cool. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have the super ability obstacles, which are not implied to be alive, but they kind of like move on their own, and like, you know, they have their own designs. So I figured I should talk about them. There's a Bite statue, which is like a weird, kind of creepy tiki dude with giant teeth. I do like them a lot, but it is kind of funny that they walk on like those tiny feet, like triangular feet on the bottom. They walk with those somehow. There's Bomb Machine, one of my favorite ones. Just a very jolly dude. Just like a giant bomb on like spring. I don't know what to call those, but like they're like, you know, mechanical springs, I guess, to get higher or lower. And they throw missiles through their mouths, to their greens. I like them. They actually remind me a lot of the Fuffle Bomb, which I wish I had put an image of here. But yeah, they're from Mario and Luigi Bowser Inside Story. They look like a lot like that. There's a statue, which is interesting because like it seems to borrow design like characteristics from Kaboo and the Kaboo, the regular enemies. But you know, these guys are not alive. I mean, they don't move. They just like they look more like statues that just happen to sprout fire. Yeah. There's a Strike Box, my personal favorite, I think. Well, maybe. I mean, these two are my personal favorites. Strike Box is like a weird owl thing that just like sprouts out of a box, kind of like a Jack in the Box kind of deal. And they look at you and they shoot like plasma orbs at you. And there's no reason for them to be an owl, like whatsoever. I don't get it why, but that's what makes it so charming. Cause like, you know, the statue itself is designed like to have like wings like an owl and like eyes like an owl and a little beak. It's so cute design. Like I could see this being like a novelty item, like a little teapot or something. And then there's a Salamander Shrine, which is like a very like big like I guess statue, which you can like crash with the hammer. And it's like designed like after salamanders because, like, you know, there's like something about salamanders and fire. It's like a myth, like very globally present for some reason. So yeah, it's just like a big shrine with like salamanders run on them, and in the middle is like a big salamander dude with a little forked tongue, and it just looks very cute. Like, look at them. I mean, it's not alive, but it looks very cute. It's a very cute design. And then kind of related to that, these guys are like clearly just machines, and they look like very you know, not alive. They don't even have faces or designs whatsoever. Like designs that would tell you that they're alive. But the way they're named makes them implies them to be related to Shutso. So I guess they're enemies. They're like creatures too. There's Igatso, which is just like a bigger version, and it shoots like fire bullets, fire cannons. Boltso, which shoots like plasma orbs, usually from the background. This is one of my favorites because like the animation for them, like it like shows like a dino like spinning around and creating the electricity, and yeah, that's just cool. And then Colso, which is like definitely like the silliest one, like by far, is literally just like a giant like ice container, just propped to the side, and when it opens the hatch, it just shoots like a giant block of ice. Like that would, I don't know how that works, but it just does that, and it's very funny. Then we're outside of the mainline game. These are the mini games. So in Scope Shot, you can see these three little guys. So there's a Waddle Tank, a giant like mech designed after Waddle Dee. These are actually interesting because like, even though they're clay machines, they are very much alive and like seem to have a consciousness because like they get like worried and they get scared and they get like angry and stuff. So yeah, they're all very cute. I really like how the Waddle Tank has like a parasol on top of their heads. You know, as like a reference to like Parasol Waddle Dee, even though they're not actually holding the parasol themselves. Now Mecha Kawasaki is very special because it's like a big comeback since Kirby's Dream Land 3, that's the last appearance of Kawasaki. And not only does he come back, but he comes in with like his like basically the official theme of Kawasaki from now on. It's a very weird song with a weird history. It started out as the intro for Gourmet Race in Superstar. Then the anime used it and like expanded it and made like a longer version with like a proper melody, like a proper song. Then Kirby Superstar Ultra used it for the bloopers. And then this game took the anime version and like remixed it, and now that is the official theme of Chef Kawasaki. So yeah, it's his theme and it plays and it's beautiful. Please listen to it. It's awesome. This one is very funny because like he has like in his apron he has a funny like chicken like symbol, and if you open that hatch, like that apron is a hatch, and if you open it, you see like a meat, like a little roast beef inside. So it's like a fridge. It's a chef with a built-in fridge. It's awesome. Mecha Dedede is weird. It looks very, very different from Dedede. Like he looks very chunky, like more like a sumo wrestler. But you know, it's clearly Dedede, and it's funny. And finally, this is an enemy that we did not get. This is only in the files and a news enemy called Hirabel. They are theorized to like be basically what we got in Triple Deluxe, which you can see on the right, being Pack Flower, another variant of Pacto, but like flower themed. They do look very similar, and you know, Hirabel also has like a giant mouth, so maybe they would have worked like that. So yeah, we did not get this one. This is an enemy from an alternate timeline. And yeah, so yeah, this is basically it. Thank you for like listening to me ramble. I know I'm very hard to understand sometimes. I have trouble vocalizing stuff, but I'll try my best to like put it on the captions. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I don't see many people talk about this, and I only talk about it with my friends, with my close friends. And I thought maybe like, you know, putting this out there would be like a cool thing to exist out there. So yeah, I'll definitely want to like make this a series. So like Kirby's Epic Giant Enemies and like Dreamland 3, 64. I look forward to those. But yeah, I would like to like make one for all the Kirby games. So yeah, thanks for watching.